Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
Now, of all the books you have written, which one gives you the greatest joy and why?
Journalist. I think they all do. You know, each book's like a child. A truly blessed man will not isolate favoritism. Will not isolate any child for favoritism, because they all have peculiar, unique characteristic that will always be endearing. So each book is a work of labor, of love, and of passion. So in diverse ways, they minister to me differently. You know, if I look at Fame, the latest one, I see I could love it for all the effort and sweat put into it within 3 months or 4 months. It was intense. But if I look at Miasma, it's a work of about 40 years old. I've been trudging over it, cutting, removing, doing that. If I look at the Demo Squad, I can tell you the size is about twice this number. I've been cutting, adding, and all that stuff. So each one has a peculiar code that I can't begin to now apply favoritism or love to one particular. I just love the books, all the books. Every time I write or publish, I do it with my heart, my all, because I believe communication is a legacy nurturing thing. If you notice, when we write nowadays, people refer to what we've written long time ago. Long time. I mean, you started way after us, but you have the same effect. People write about what you write. If you wrote with passion back long time ago, you will make connections with people who years after will remember those connections and they will reflect on it. When I read some of the tributes and testimonials of people that I don't even remember faces of people in my primary school or secondary school, but I remember names of some of those fellows who used to write back to me. You are one of my favorite readers. Then you became my reporter and all that. You can't. Some people just by their handwriting. The late Wole Odede, when he was in radio, he would write for my page. He has one of the most beautiful handwritings. You know, he's late now. He died a week or so ago, sadly. Before he now joined us in other Fame or Encodomo somewhere with some kind of arrangement. So they are lifelong. There are some people like Oluwaluko, Isaacs. There are a lot of them. I read about them. You see the familiarity we discuss. Some of them have never worked as a media person. They are readers who have become friends or have become lifelong friends and all that. So my way of life, my style is to put everything into the work, whether it's one page, whether it's that page. You see me correct, do this. I'm offended and annoyed when I write something and there's an error. You know. Let me give you an example. Someone, I think I wasn't sure, I couldn't be sure who, I forgot, just pointed to me that the promo I wrote a day or two before my birthday, diary was written with AIRE. It's a peculiar uh, media error that we always say dairy and diary.
Yeah,
They
there.
sound like they
Yeah.
look alike. I was so agitated. I was talking to my friend German. Can you believe I wrote so and so and so and so? He said no. That is a common. I said no, it can't be common. I was going to Amazon to go and change. I thought I wrote DAIR on the book on the Amazon. I was looking around. I was so confused. I was confusing myself up to a point that I thought it should be AIR and not. I was arguing with the dictionary.
Yeah.
Until I found out that the intro I wrote in Facebook, I wrote A in the top and I at the bottom, but in the book is correct. Oh, so what you need to see my face, how happy I was that it was not so terrible an error. So that's how passionate that I am about writing.
Interesting.
Okay.
What is your general assessment of journalism, as it is being practiced in Nigeria today?
I like your interest in our work
Thank you, sir.
and your persistence to ask this question. I
Thank you.
remember I answered it also September 2020, the last time I came here.
Yeah.
And I've read it in many questions to many personalities in the media.
Yeah.
I think in terms of journalism, we're doing very well. Most of what gives us headache, they are not by journalists. I mean, I beg anybody's pardon on that. Most of what gives us ache and pain in the course of media work and media dissemination and all that are not done stricto facto by journalists. Because when you see the work of journalists, even when they sometimes err on the side of rushing and breaking news and all that, you could see effort made to write as journalists. Something happened, something great or terrible or whatever happened, you must background it. You must give it some substance beyond what has just happened. Those who are not journalists, they don't have time to go and do background and do research and all that. They don't write, this thing happened, it happened, bam, they move on. No, journalism is not done that way. This thing happened, it happened. Now, go to background. It has happened before, that is how they did, this is how they did, it happened here, it happened here. That's how you do journalism. So that it's just not confetti, it's not just talking head, it's report. So Nigerian journalism, considering the circumstance and the environment that we operate, considering the parlous economic condition, considering the political, that man will call, and it makes sense, hagi haga and all that. If you consider all those situations, that we still have what we have, and we're able to flow and affect our environment, they're doing considerably well. I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement, errors that could be avoided, and there are things that we could improve on, technology-wise and all that. But they've done very well. I can't speak the same from all these wakapas,
Journalists. All right. So finally, would you describe the coming of the social media as a blessing or a curse, to the journalism profession? I need us to round off on that note.
Okay. It's like a double-headed thing. It's both a curse and a blessing.
Okay.
A curse in the sense of that it has brought irreparable damage to perception of what is journalism or what is media work. They call everybody media people, everybody. The one that got his iPhone yesterday or his smartphone yesterday and he begins to do citizen journalism. But the fact that he's able to do citizen journalism is also a blessing. Because amongst those who are doing this citizen journalism are those who are sound, who are lettered in different ways, not essentially media, and who understand the basic ethic of fairness and accuracy. There are people who, by their grooming, and education understands the basic principles of journalism: accuracy, fairness, and timeliness. They understand that, and they try to express it in their small corner of the world. So in such a way, because social media gives them the avenue, a window to express it. No media could have managed it. We have people who have hundreds of millions as followers. No paper can manage that. Now, if such person have this habit of expressing himself with those basic virtues or basic values or principles of fairness, of accuracy and all that stuff, it's a tremendous gift to humanity. So there's a lot of blessing in it. I mean, something happened. Okay, the other day I was going out and I entered one holder for like 2.5 hours. And I said, wow, I was on this WhatsApp group. I've not read it for 3 days. I'm sure if I had read it, I would not enter that hold up. And I went back to those things to go and read back. And I saw a lot of argument about what I ran into. So if I had early that morning read those stuff, I wouldn't have entered that. And I spent 2.5 hours, and I hate going out into hold up. So the tremendous things that the social media has created. But it has, like every good thing, it has a bad shade and bad color of it that can be very, very terrible sometimes.
Interesting. Something just occurred to me, and I'll be doing myself a lot of the service if I fail to ask you. Are you one of those who believe that the social media is going to swallow the print media, or you think that the print media, despite all the challenges that it's currently facing, will still continue to thrive?
Don't forget that I'm a book writer. I'm also a journalist, and book is part of the print media. There's still this. Like for instance, when I want to write an extensive story, I write it with biro and paper.
Okay.
When I want to write on the go, I write it on the phone. Now, when I want to write extensively, do outline, do this, I have to I have to write it in longhand and then type it. Technology has improved now. I can scan my longhand and turn it to text and all that. So I don't know how I can survive without holding paper or holding book to read, because the shallow power of the video that I'm facing now, this small article, this small item that I'm devised, it also gives you the impression that the world is squeezed into that narrowness. It doesn't give you the expansiveness of a newspaper in your hand or of a book in your hand. So it will threaten it. It will shake it. It will cause it to change, reflect, deflect, and assume all kinds of contortions. But print can die. It can't die because you still have to hold. They say it's maybe old people, old generation that do that. I see young people also reading. Do you know when you hold a book? My book is 356 or 300, according to Amazon, it's 360 something. But looking at 356, when you want to read it digitally as an e-book, what they call
e-4. Yeah.
Okay,
they have copies.
When you want to read it as an e-book, okay, when you want to read it as an e-book in, say, a Kobo or in the D2Book and all those things, it comes to like 6,800 and something pages.
Wow.
Who's going to read that? That's what people will condense it into. Who's going to, each one will now have like maybe like 2 paragraphs, and I can't deal with that. I can't. But there are young folks who like that and all that. They could read it for like 3 months and what have you. But I can finish the book in 2 days or 3 days and move on to something else. So it can't die. It will harass it. It will terrify it. But it won't be able to atrophy it, as we say. It will still stand. But that's my belief. Because some people can't just not do without reading a hard copy.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Azuh.
for your time, for your thoughts and everything.